Okay, look, now I know some of you might be asking, why is it that some people quietly rise in life while everyone else stays stuck complaining about gas prices, credit scores, and why their boss secretly hates them? Well, let me fill you in on a secret nobody tells you. You might already be above average and not even realize it. And no, I'm not talking about your height, your fashion sense, or your ability to microwave ramen without burning it. I'm talking about the traits that separate the quietly successful people from the permanently frustrated. By the end of this video, I'm revealing 9 signs you're above average. And if you clicked on this video, there's a very good chance you're already ahead of 90% of people. So let's get into it. Sign number 1, you don't believe everything you hear. Now let's start with a heavy hitter, because this one is rare. If you question things, money advice, social norms, go to college or you'll fail. Investing is risky. Your job is secure. Buying a house is always good. Congratulations, you're already above average. Most people accept information like a vending machine. Insert opinion, receive belief, never question it again. But you hear something and think, wait, does this even make sense? Who benefits if I believe this? Is everyone repeating this because it's true or because it's familiar? That single habit puts you miles ahead, because here's the truth. The average person's beliefs weren't chosen. They were inherited. But the above average person, they choose what they believe. Let me give you a real example. The average person hears, the economy is bad, nobody is hiring, and instantly gives up. But you look online and instantly see hundreds of companies begging for talent and realize people aren't looking hard. They're looking lazy. Or someone says, you need $50,000 to start a business. But you know you can start 95% of modern businesses with under $500 or less. This is why questioning things matters. If you don't think for yourself, life will think for you. And speaking of thinking for yourself, the second sign you're above average is something almost nobody realizes they're doing, but it changes everything about your future. Sign number 2, you don't compare yourself to people online. Okay, listen, if you can scroll through Instagram or TikTok without feeling like your life is trash compared to a 19-year-old influencer posing with a rented Lambo, you're already a legend. Most people compare themselves to everyone except who matters, themselves. They compare their salary, relationship, body, house, vacations, timeline, success level, to people they've never met who are often lying. But you know the truth. Comparison kills confidence, and confidence builds success. So instead of comparing yourself to others, you compare yourself to yesterday. That's above average thinking. People who constantly compare themselves never win, because they're always measuring the wrong scoreboard. A real above average person understands this. It's not you versus them. It's you versus who you were last year. If you're growing, even slowly, that's what matters. Let me give you a real example. The average person scrolls social media and says, everyone is doing better than me. But the above average person says, wait, am I doing better than me? And that changes everything. But if that hasn't convinced you yet, this next sign absolutely will, because it reveals a mindset that guarantees you'll end up wealthier than most people you know. Sign number 3, you actually care about money. Now look, I already know this might sound obvious, but just stay with me for a minute. Most people say they care about money, but their actions scream, I don't care at all. They'll memorize every character in their favorite TV show, but not one thing about how taxes work. They know the exact stats of every basketball player, but not how compound interest works. They'll spend hours watching TikToks, but never spend 10 minutes learning how credit scores are calculated. But if you click this video, if you're watching a channel about growth, wealth, mindset, and leveling up, guess what? You already care more about money than the average person. And caring about money is the first step toward having it. Above average people don't obsess over looking rich. They obsess over understanding money. Let me make this simple. The average person avoids talking about money. The above average person studies it. The average person says, money doesn't matter. The above average person knows money matters because freedom matters. And here's the wild part. The moment you stop being emotionally weird about money, you stop staying broke. All right, now I need to address something real quick. Most people will notice these signs and completely disregard it. And it's not just this. We've created an entire playlist on the fundamentals of financial freedom. Go back and watch those videos and make sure to subscribe to the channel to always stay updated. But anyways, so the next sign, oh, this one is different, Because the fourth sign isn't about what you know, it's about what you're willing to do. And almost nobody gets this right. Sign number 4, you're willing to look stupid before you look smart. Pay attention to what I'm about to say, because here's a brutal truth. Above average people are willing to be beginners. Average people aren't. Most people won't try anything unless they know they'll look good doing it. They won't ask questions because they don't want to sound dumb. They won't try new skills because they don't want someone to judge them. They won't experiment because they might fail in public. But you, if you're someone who can try new things, even if you're terrible at them at first, you're already operating at a higher level. Think about it. You can't learn investing without feeling confused at first. You can't learn business without feeling like an imposter at first. You can't learn money without realizing how much you didn't know. Success requires embarrassment, but the average person avoids anything that makes them uncomfortable. Meanwhile, above average people understand this simple rule. You have to be bad before you can be good. Let me give you a real-world example. Think about your first job. You didn't know what you were doing. You didn't understand anything. You just showed up, nodded your head, pretended to get it, and hoped nobody asked you a question that exposed you. And guess what? That's exactly how people learn new skills, including the ones that build wealth. Only the above-average person is willing to go through that awkward learning phase on purpose. The average person says, I don't want to try that. I'll look stupid. The above-average person says, I'll try that because I'll look stupid, and then I'll get better. But if you think that mindset is powerful, wait until you see sign number 5, because this one determines whether you'll stay stuck in life or quietly outgrow everybody around you. Sign number 5, you actually follow through. All right, let's get serious, because I want to ask you something. How many people do you know who say things like, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to start investing, I got to fix my credit, I'm going to start saving money, I'm going to get in shape, and then literally never do it? Exactly. Most people treat goals like New Year's resolutions. Fun to say, impossible to maintain. But you? If you've ever stuck with something longer than 3 to 7 days, you're already above average. Because here's the truth. The world isn't divided into successful versus unsuccessful people. It's divided into finishers versus quitters. The average person quits everything. They quit their goals, they quit their habits, they quit their new routines, they quit their plans after one setback. Above average people don't try. They commit. They don't want instant results. They want real results. They don't chase motivation. They chase progress. Here's a real life example. Someone decides to get serious about money. They Google budgeting videos, watch 20 TikToks, follow 5 finance influencers, and even buy a fancy journal. But after 72 hours, they're back to impulse buying DoorDash at 11 p.m. Meanwhile, an above-average person takes one simple money habit, like saving $5 a day or tracking spending for a week, and they stick with it consistently. That's why they win. Follow-through is the ultimate cheat code. But if you really want to know whether you're above average, the next sign is the one that truly separates the quietly successful from the chronically stuck. And trust me, this one hits hard. Sign number 6. You don't need constant dopamine to function. I'll be honest, this right here is one of the most underrated superpowers in the modern world. We live in a generation hooked on scrolling, notifications, entertainment, distractions, stimulation. People literally can't sit in silence for 30 seconds without grabbing their phone like it's a life support machine. But you, if you can, drive without the radio on, walk without scrolling, sit alone with your thoughts, focus on a task without bouncing around, get things done without needing to feel motivated. Then, congratulations. You have a level of self-control that is extremely rare. Here's why it matters. Dopamine addiction destroys productivity, clarity, discipline, and financial growth. Let me show you how. The average person tries to do anything important, and their brain instantly goes, ugh, this is boring. Let's check TikTok. Let's scroll real quick. It's too quiet, I need noise. I'll do it later. My brain refuses. Above average people have trained themselves to do the boring stuff. They know that boring is where wealth is built. Here's a simple real-life example. Budgeting? Boring. Reviewing expenses? Boring. Reading about investing? Boring. Learning new skills? Boring. Setting up accounts? Boring. Watching a 30-minute video on compound interest? Painfully boring. But here's the twist. Boring habits create rich lives. Exciting habits keep you broke. If you can hold attention on something that isn't entertaining, even for a few minutes, you're already above average. Now buckle up, because sign number 7 might be the most accurate predictor of long-term success out of this entire list, and very few people ever realize they have it. Sign number 7. You can delay gratification, even a little. Now, this might sting a little, but trust me, this one is huge. Maybe the most important sign on the entire list. If you can delay gratification, even for just a few minutes, you have a psychological advantage most people will never experience. Let's be real. Most people live in a right now mindset. They want results now, pleasure now, rewards now, food now, money now, validation now. And the moment something takes longer than 30 seconds, boom, motivation evaporates. But you, if you've ever said things like, I'll wait, I don't need that right now, I can save that for later, I'll invest instead of spending, I'll finish the boring task before I relax, you already possess one of the strongest traits of above-average performers. Here's why delaying gratification matters. The longer you can wait for a reward, the bigger the reward becomes. It's literally how wealth works. Let me hit you with a relatable real-life example. Two people get paid. One immediately blows their check on food, entertainment, clothes, and treating themselves. The other says, let me save or invest a tiny piece first. Guess who ends up with options later? Delayed gratification is the secret behind better finances, stronger discipline, healthier relationships, and better habits, higher income, long-term success. And here's the crazy part. It doesn't have to be extreme. Even small moments of delaying gratification prove you're operating at a higher level, like choosing to drink water before buying a soda, or choosing to think before reacting, or choosing to save before spending, or choosing to finish your task before taking a break. Those tiny decisions are massive indicators. But if that impressed you, wait until you hear sign number 8, because this one exposes something about you that most people won't admit even to themselves. Sign number 8. You take responsibility instead of playing the blame game. I'm just going to be completely honest. This one is harsh, but it's the real separator between the average and the above average. Because let's be real, most people blame everything except themselves. It's the economy. It's my job. It's my boss. It's my upbringing. It's my parents. It's the government. It's inflation. It's Mercury in retrograde. It's bad luck. It's the universe trying to teach me something. They blame everything except their own decisions. But you, if you're someone who can say, okay, part of this is on me. What can I do better? You're already operating at a level most people never reach. Taking responsibility doesn't mean beating yourself up. It means you recognize something powerful. If I'm the problem, I can also be the solution. That mindset changes everything. Let me give you a real example. Two people lose their jobs. The average person says, this is unfair. Life hates me. The above average person says, this sucks, but let me pivot and make a plan. Same event, different outcome, different mindset, different life. Responsibility equals power. Blame equals weakness. Choosing responsibility means you're capable of change. And people who are capable of change are always above average. But all of this leads to the big final sign, the one that ties everything together and predicts your future more accurately than any personality test ever created. Sign number 9, you think long-term. Now listen closely. If you don't take anything away from this video, it's this right here. This is the holy grail of being above average. If you think in days, you're normal. If you think in weeks, you're better. If you think in years, you're dangerous. But if you think in decades, you are above average and headed for a completely different life. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, not because of income, but because they think paycheck to paycheck. They plan their life in tiny slices. What am I doing this weekend? What's the plan for Friday? What am I buying today? What do I want right now? But you, if you've ever thought things like, where do I want to be in 5 years? How can I improve my finances over time? What decisions today affect my future? How can I set myself up for stability? You're playing a completely different game. Let's make this simple. Short-term thinkers survive. Long-term thinkers thrive. Wealth, health, relationships, opportunities. All of it comes from long-term thinking. Here's a real-life example. You don't become wealthy from one investment. You become wealthy from 10 years of consistent investing. You don't become healthy from one workout. You become healthy from sticking with it. You don't become skilled from one attempt. You become skilled from years of improvement. Thinking long-term is the ultimate above-average skill. And now that we've gone through all 9 signs, let's put this entire message together. because the recap might hit harder than the list itself. Here are the 9 signs you're above average and why they matter. You question everything. You think for yourself. You don't compare yourself to people online. You stay grounded. You actually care about money, which means you'll understand it. You're willing to look stupid at first. You grow faster. You follow through. You finish what you start. You don't rely on constant dopamine. You stay focused. You delay gratification. You trade short-term fun for long-term freedom. You take responsibility. You stay in control. You think long-term. You build a future most people never experience. If even one of these signs describes you, you're already outperforming most people around you. If 3 or more apply, you're on track for serious growth. If most of them describe you, congratulations, you're not just above average. You're on your way to becoming unstoppable. So just remember this: average is crowded. Above average is quiet. But success is silent. And you're on your way. Now, if this video opened your eyes or made you realize you're further ahead than you thought, comment the words, "I will be wealthy," so I know that you're serious. And if you want to take this even further and understand exactly how above average people turn their traits into money, you need to watch the next video. 10 psychological tricks the rich use that you don't. It's the perfect follow-up because it takes the mindset you already have and shows you how to weaponize it for wealth. Just click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.